What's up, guys? My name's Captain Dave and welcome to the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Oh, it has just been far too long since we last played a Spider-Man game, and trust me, it feels so good to be back in the swing of things. Pardon the terrible Spider-Man pun there. But before we get into this thing, let's quickly go through and make sure everything's alright. Subtitles are on. Sound effects and the music volumes turned down a little bit. Last time I found the music and the sound effects was a bit loud in comparison to the voice, and we've got to hear what those characters are saying after all. It wouldn't be a Spider-Man game without Spider-Man's clever quips. But anyway, there's enough chit-chatting. Let's get in this. Got plenty of time to talk about how awesome this game is when we're playing it. I've actually managed to play through this game twice already on my own. Once I picked it up, I just found I couldn't put it down. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. So let's get this thing underway. And even though normally I play these sort of games on normal difficulty just to make sure we get through it without any hiccups, I've dabbled with superhero difficulty, and you know, I found it wasn't actually too troubling. So I think we're going to go this one full hog, full superhero mode. A decision we may later regret. But let's do this. Creating a new game will erase your old save game data. Deleting all your progress. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, I remember this decision last time. In we go, let's do this.
Hey, somebody stop that guy! He just robbed me! Hey, kid! A little help?
Not my problem.
Somebody stop that dude!
Go on, T-Bone. You go get that criminal. I believe in you, T-Bone.
Hey, kid. Spare any change?
I'm sure T-Bone can. Come on, he's left his shop, buddy. Why don't you just go in there, help yourself? I mean, that guy did. And if I remember anything from the film, T-Bone sounded like a bit of a jerk. Go help yourself, buddy.
Aw, you look like a sad little puppy.
Yo, buddy, cheer up. We're gonna check out a killer band. You should come.
Remember, happiness is a choice. My yoga instructor always says that.
Oh, well, that was a nice little friendly invite by those strangers. Were they talking to me or were they talking to old T-Bone here? Hurley from Lost himself. Man, you ran, what, 5-10 feet? And you're this out of breath? Do some cardio, man. Jeez. It's not going to be a criminal that killed you. It's just going to be a heart attack. But if anyone has seen the Amazing Spider-Man films or knows anything about Spider-Man ever, I think we know what's coming now. Any Spider-Man game wouldn't begin without the good old death of Uncle Ben, the one character that's always doomed to die.
This is a brand new car.
You stopped at a yellow light! Who stops at a yellow light?
People who obey the law, that's who.
Right. You respect the law so much you were talking on the phone the whole time.
You can't prove that.
Yeah? Let me see your call history.
I was on speakerphone.
Well, someone should help you guys, but this is a little bit below Spider-Man's pay grade. Well, hell, he doesn't get paid for any of this, but Spider-Man has bigger and better things to be dealing with right now.
Hey!
He's close by. I should get over there.
Indeed he shall, indeed he shall. If I'm not careful, this will be the death scene of Peter Parker if he plays in traffic like that much longer.
Oh.
Uncle Ben! Call an ambulance! Somebody help! Uncle Ben! Uncle Ben, hang on! Uncle Ben! Come on! No! Come on!
Uncle Ben was my rock in a world where I couldn't count on anything. A world where my parents disappeared. Where a genetically modified spider bite turned me into something new. But now, Uncle Ben was gone. For his memory, for Aunt May, to make up for not stopping his killer when I should have, I had to become a man. Spider-Man. And I've done some good, put away a lot of bad guys. But I haven't found the man who killed Uncle Ben. Just one more empty space in a life full of them. The man who killed Uncle Ben is out there somewhere. And I will find him. I'll never stop looking for Uncle Ben's killer. Never.
Death from above! Okay, maybe not. Looks like it's a web swinging tutorial. Looks like we're not going to be committing spider suicide just yet. And ho ho ho, what is this? It looks like after years and years of fans complaining, Beanox has stepped up to the plate and made it so that you can only web swing if there are buildings around to web swing from. And good on you, Beanox, well done. I've always been a fan of the way you make Spider-Man games, and you've done it proud, I feel. You've done it proud. You've brought it back to the way Spider-Man games should be. Web swinging off of buildings.
All units, vicinity of Tompkins Square Park. We have a robbery suspect fleeing on foot. Male, Caucasian, blonde hair, sunglasses.
That fits the description of the guy who shot Uncle Ben. I better check it out.
Yeah, but it'll be a sad day when Beanox stops making Spider-Man games, because I'm thoroughly impressed with all the games they've made so far. It'll be very sad when Beanox stops making the Spider-Man games.
Hey Larry, these guns are heavy. How about a hand?
I set this gig up. That makes me the boss and you the hired help. So shut up and put some effort into it.
The ringleader looks like the guy who killed Uncle Ben. But I'm not sure. I need to get some pictures of him.
It's time to whip out the old camera that we know from the first Amazing Spider-Man game.
Let's get a good look at this guy's ugly face.
Where he stores this camera in that skin-tight spandex is beyond me, but hell, you know what they say, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Apparently spiders can pull cameras out of their arse. Who knew?
That's not who I'm after. What the?
Oh, that's not good. Danger incoming.
Glad I trusted my instincts.
Spider-Man? Hell with it, kill him!
Oh man, not even 10 minutes into this game, and we've already got Black Cat trying to kill us. Man, did she not learn her lesson the first time?
On what planet is that called fighting?
Try and just investigate some low-level thugs, and Black Cat decides to drop a crane on her head. I don't think that was called for. But anywho, the combat system in Amazing Spider-Man 2, I've got to say, I feel they've improved it in this one further than they did in the first one. I mean, in the first game, I thought it was fine, but I feel you can punch and counter combos and stuff like that a lot better in this one than you could in the first one. I think they've just polished it out a little bit more.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for what you've done, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I doubt that.
All webbed up and nowhere to
Taste my goo!
you maybe pretend you know what you're just phoning this in, aren't you?
Yeah, but I just personally feel like I can, all the combo scenes, all the combat and all that, it's just it's a lot easier to maneuver than it was in the first game.
Get me down! Come on, get me down from here!
Quiet. Let me see your hands.
Yeah, see?
Huh. It's your lucky night. You're not the guy I'm after. Unless you had a tattoo removed.
No, man, no. I'm afraid of needles. And heights. So how about let me down, huh?
Relax, you're fine.
What?
Until the webbing dissolves. But, you know, the cops will find you by then.
Please, what do you
Probably.
want? Maybe I can help you find who you're looking for. Just put me on the ground, yeah?
Guess the jails all have the same fashion magazines, because there sure are a lot of criminals who look like you.
Huh?
I'm trying to find this one.
Yeah, I seen that guy.
Oh.
He sells guns to my boss, Herman Schultz.
Lying will not improve my moves.
Yeah, I swear. Mr. Schultz is doing a deal right now. Look, I don't know if it's with him, but he's buying enough firepower to take on an army, man.
Army? Which army?
The Russians, man. They arm up, we arm up. Scary times, man. You gotta be ready for anything, you know what I'm talking about?
Tell me where to find Schultz, okay? Maybe I'll upgrade your accommodations to a fire hydrant. What do you say? Sounds pretty
good.
cush.
Yeah.
Huh? Got a deal?
Ah, and this seems to be the part of the game where we get introduced to the good old web rush. A feature I'm glad made a return. Hold to keep momentum. Yep, I think that's definitely a good thing when we're about to go flying onto the tail end of a helicopter. Spider-Man does whatever a Spider-Man can, but I don't think getting chopped into chop suey is one of the things that he wants to do necessarily. Yep, wall run, yep, I remember all this.
Gotta head to that construction site if I'm gonna find this Herman Schultz guy.
Ah, Herman Schultz, why does that name ring a bell? When I first started playing this, and I saw that Herman Schultz was right at the start of the game, that just made me smile. For anyone that's read Ultimate Spider-Man, Herman Schultz is just a hilarious character. I mean, obviously he's in all versions of Spider-Man, but in Ultimate Spider-Man especially, he just he tickles the old funny bone. So I was very glad to see that Herman was making an appearance right at the start here.
Snap! Now that the cops cracked down, every crew in the city's running low on guns. This'll give us a hell of an advantage.
You mean us? Surrender the guns and maybe you live.
Come get them, punks!
How about I take the guns? I don't think you guys are qualified to use them responsibly.
You cannot win! Only die!
Hell, I think I should take these guys down just for having really bad Russian accents. That's terrible. I think I'll be doing the Russians a favour by taking you guys down. Stop spreading a bad name about them. But anyway, the good old web rush. You hold down the RB button, or R1 if you're on PlayStation, and you can switch between the targets. Yep, the guy wielding the big knife. I think you're number one on my list. Let's do this!
You know, I hear jail's a lot nicer now. The toilets have seats and everything.
Yeah, I think the combo, at least in my opinion, has been improved quite a bit since the first one. I mean, the first game was fine, but I found sometimes
Hey, so I'm showing off.
I like it quite often, like in the same sort of style as the Batman games, where every punch and kick connects. And I felt they did that in the last one, but I felt they've improved it a lot more in this one. And the way you counter enemies is just, it feels a lot more polished in this game than it did in the first one. Can't necessarily put my finger quite on what it is. It just feels better when I'm playing.
We're all better off if no one gets their hands on that ammo.
I just feel I have control of what Spider-Man's doing a lot more.
If I focus, maybe I can sense where the other ammo crates are.
Walk away while you can still walk!
Alright, well, we can't web rush and flick an object to take all these guys down at once, but we can still web rush them. Well, it looks like it's 2-1 on that Russian guy. That just does not seem fair.
Will you be my arch enemy? Psych!
Into the spider to even things up a little bit. Well, I say even things up. I'm going to beat you all down eventually. And I found when you're in combat scenes, when you're against like 1-on-1 or maybe just 1-on-2, it's not as important. But when you're beating people up, I found it makes a lot more sense to
Let's go for the hat trick.
don't just keep mashing the attack button. Wait until every punch is connected, and wait until sort of like wait until you've hit someone before you hit the punch button again, because if you have to counter somebody and you've already hit the punch button, then you're going to get a hit taken off on you. So I find if you actually just punch and wait until every single attack's been done, it just makes the combat work in your favour a lot more. But anywho, speaking of combat,
I tell you, service here is terrible. I demand to speak to your manager.
Mr. Schultz, don't worry, he'll find you.
Mr. Schultz? Oh man, has he got you guys whipped? You called all Hermie Mister? Oh, I don't think you realise how much of a douchebag you're working for. And that's your punishment for it. That's what you get for working with such a D-bag like Schultz.
This is why they never invite me to gang wars. I ruin all their fun. Ah, you must be Schultz. Your goon said you were ugly, but whoa! He was being charitable.
Think you can take me, huh, freak? Well, I'm not gonna make it easy for you.
Oh, come on. All your friends did.
You just bought yourself a ticket to hell!
Oh no!
You're gonna
I'm
pay for
so
that
scared! Not. Tug of war. Nice dental work. Sorry
I'm begging you, man. Look, don't kill me like the others. We can make a deal.
Others?
Yeah, I've got money, guns. Just tell me what you need, huh?
I hear you do business with this guy.
Sure. What do you want to know?
What do I want to know? Well, isn't that the million-dollar question? And speaking of questions, I like this little feature they've added in here. That even though like the final outcome is always the same, I like how if you're someone who doesn't really care about story, you can just skip that and finish the conversation. But if you like a good bit of backstory, like you know I do, you can go through and ask them questions in whatever order you feel. And I like that. It's a nice little feature. It makes you feel like you're a Spider-Man all the more. But first off and foremost, 2 years we've been looking for this guy. Who's Ben's killer?
Who's the man in the picture, huh?
Carradine. Don't know if that's his real name, huh? He sells guns without those annoying background checks.
Where do you meet him?
I mean, it's different each time. You put the word out you want to make a deal, he calls. Always on a disposable cell phone. He's a real paranoid fella, you know? Yeah, he must have a guilty conscience. Come on, we gotta...
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong there about the guilty conscience.
The tattoo. What does it mean?
It's a gang thing.
There aren't any gangs using that symbol.
Only a few people have it. Means he's a specialist. A guy who can get you anything you want for the right price. And he'll kill anyone who gets in his way, huh?
Yeah. I already knew that.
I don't know what a specialist was doing robbing a convenience store. It seems a little bit below his pay grade.
Why can't you and the Russians play nice?
Huh? Are you kidding? After what they've been doing to our people, then my guys feel like they have to escalate. You know, it's bad for business. But what are you gonna do, huh?
Stop it, and you're gonna tell me how.
I'm not sure you can. You ask me, it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better, huh? You want the guy in the picture, huh? Look for a gun dealer in Alphabet City. Okay, he goes by Carradine. I think I got his latest number here in my phone.
Wait, don't! Stupid! I was so desperate for answers, I let him play me like an amateur.
I've got to say, I'm impressed that old Hermie Schultz was able to whip through Spider-Man's webbing like that and get away so quick. God, give him props. Spider-Man had his spider sense, that really indestructible webbing, his strength, and Schultz was still able to get away. Much of a douchebag he is. It's either well played on Schultz's behalf or poor form on Spider-Man's.